Hi, this is Fred with Quality One Engravers. I'm going to show you real quickly how to set up a simple plate in the Quality program. It'll be a 3-line plate. I'm going to make the plate size 0.875 and the width is going to be 3.5 inches. And I'm going to change the top margin to 0.1 and the bottom to also 0.1. And my left and right margin, I'm going to make that 0.15, and number 6 also 0.15. And then I'm going to press the letter T for text, and I like normal block, but I know this is going to be done in diamond drag, so I'm going to load a font. And here's a real nice font to use. I'm going to hold the Alt key, Alt N, and I'm going to use normal block 2X, and I'm going to just hit enter, and then I'm going to hit enter again and Alt V, because I know that it's going to be Victoria. Victoria 2-line is another font that I'm going to want to use. So I'll just hit enter, arrow up to normal block 2X. And since it's only a 7/8 plate, I'm also going to use the Alt up arrow, and you can see the line height increases. So I'm going to make the first line 0.172, just as a good number. And I'm going to type in AYSO fall 2011. Okay. Now another thing that I usually do for when I'm using normal block 2X, I'll also press Alt K so I turn it to auto kerning, because I can see this little AY and the SO. The A's and the Y's sometimes need kerning between them. Now I could have used some manual kerning, but the auto kerning is available. So I'm going to hit enter, even though I'm in the middle of the line here is fine. And line number 2, and right now I'm totally in the center mode. And line number 2, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, so I'm going to use the Alt key and maybe make it 0.219. And these are just convenient fractions. And I'm going to type in green ninjas, NINJAS. Now I noticed right here I'm going to come back to just the word green, and I'm going to press the F6 key just to capitalize that. And again, even though I'm in the middle of the line, I can hit enter. So the F6 key will change caps to lowercase or lowercase to caps. Hit enter, and the last line is going to be the player's name. Now the problem here is that I can't do a graphic screen for you, but what I do know is that this is a line that is changing. So I'm going to arrow back to the beginning where I'm on what I call the caret. This is what I call the caret, which is the Shift 6 key. But I'm going to change the font. Well, I'm going to change the font size to 0.25 high. Maybe I'll go 0.281. And number 5, I will arrow down to Victoria and hit enter. And now instead of putting the first name in, I'm going to put bracket L bracket, and this stands for list, and I'm going to hit enter. Now a lot of the rest of this you'll have to kind of look at, and I'm going to take some guesses here, so if you can bear with me on my guesses. I am figuring that this is going to have a logo, which is going to be a soccer ball on the left, and I'm going to have 3 lines of engraving that are going to be shifted over to the right a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control P to change to manual layout, E for edit, and I'm going to hit the space bar because I want to edit all 3 of them. So right now the distance to the reference to the center is 1.6. So I'm going to press the letter R, and I'm going to make this 2.2. And you can see now I only have 2 inches of space of width, so that'll leave me about right. Hit enter, press the letter R, hit equal, and enter the letter R and hit equal again. So now all 3 lines have the same reference to left margin, but all of them are centered. Then I'm going to hit the letter T for text, and in this case it's not a new job. I need to add to existing text. So I can either hit the letter A or the enter key. In this case, I'm going to hit the enter key. Okay, now for this line, I'm going to want the alignment to be left, press the number 2, to be left aligned, and I want the height to be, well, I don't know, at least a half inch ball, maybe 5/8, and I need it to be centered between the top and the bottom, and there's a hotkey, which is the function 3 key, which centers it perfectly. So, and number 5, I need to load another font, which this is Schwartz symbol. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key and press the letter S. I'm continuing to hold the Alt key, Schwartz symbols 1, and I'm going to hit the space bar because that's the font of choice, and then I'll hit the space bar to get out into the text, and the soccer ball symbol is a capital letter J, and I hit enter. And that will be all the text that I want to put in. If I hit E for edit, there's my first line of engraving, second line, the list, and the soccer ball. Now, there's a little bit more to this job. I'm going to hit the letter S for start, and I know that I want to do, how many plates am I doing? I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plates. So I need to enter a list. So I need to, if I hit escape, you'll see that enter list is F7. So I'll hit F7, and the first name is Tevin Atwell. Enter. And RYHS Wilson. Now, if this had come in a text file, I could have imported these names from Notepad, but since I didn't do that, I should have, because I did get it as a text file. DAYCEN space AURELIO DANENFEITAS, and then the last name is KEIN-MARKETLNEWSON. Okay, now if anything I made a mistake, once I've entered my 5 names in there that I'm putting in, 2, 3, 4, I can hit escape to get out of this list. If I want to edit that list, it's F8. So I hit the F8 key, and of course now I can review through them to make sure that all of them are correct. And all of them, I can see this one was supposed to be KEINAN. So I'm going to hit enter. KEINAN. And then just hit enter. So, and if I wanted to duplicate or delete any of these, I can hit insert or delete. So this is fine. So now I have to go to the start menu, and the number of plates is going to be 5. Now some of this is going to depend on what your plate size that you have available. But I'm going to press the number 6, which is my matrix right here, number 6. So I press 6, and it brings up my matrix. Now I need to know how many across or how many down I'm going to do. So the number of plates down, I'm going to just assume that it's 5. So you're going to need a piece of material that's at least 4 3/8 by 3 1/2. And you can also turn on tick marks, and you can do a full score around, but usually that's not necessary on a trophy plate. So it's one across and 2 down. And of course, had you made the number 1 a 2 and enter, of course now it would have been 7 inches across, because 2 times 3.5 is 7. So I'm just going to put the number 1 back in there. So you're going to put a strip down, and you're going to engrave it down from the corner. Kind of a funny key to get out of this menu is hitting the escape. And then I have the matrix is turned on and tick marks off. And basically all that you're going to do is press the number 5 key. It will engrave all these lines. Now the only thing I can tell you is I'm not 100% certain that the layout is exactly the way I want it, because of course if I go into the graphic I'm going to lose you. The only other thing to do is to save it, and saving is hitting the F10 key, and I'm going to call it AYSO 78X3, something like that, for the size of the plate. And this is where you can put a lot of information. AYSO 78X3.5 3-line tag, and then you could put the price, the material, how you engraved it, things of that nature, and you can also do a search on it. Now, the spot that I'm saving it to right now is just the quality jobs directory. If you do a lot of jobs, that's not where you want to put it. You'll want to go, when you go to save, you'll hit the tab key, and it will build a directory tree. Now, I paused it because it takes sometimes a while to build a directory tree on a big computer, but this I may have arrowed down to the A directory. So the C:\1 jobs \A directory is where I may have wanted to save it. So I could hit enter, and now it's in that A directory. And it just makes for a more convenient place to save it. I hope this helped.